Grade 6, welcome back to my channel, and we're back again to learn new lesson, new learning, and new math problem to solve. And for today's lesson, we will be discussing about the visualizing the surface area of a solid figure. And to be updated for our next lesson, please subscribe by clicking the bell button. So now, let's start. After going through this lesson, you are expected to visualize and describe surface area and name the unit of measure used for measuring the surface area of a solid or space figures. So first, let's have a review of the different formula for area of plane figures. So the first figure we have here is a square. So the formula for this will be area is equal to side times side. It can also be in S times S or S squared. Second figure is the rectangle. So the formula for this is length times width. It can also be by L times W or LW. The third figure is a parallelogram. So the formula for this will be base times height, or it can also be B times H, or it can also be BH. The fourth one is a triangle. The formula for this will be base times height over 2, or it can also be B times H over 2. Or it can also be like this, BH over 2. The fifth one is a circle. So the formula for this will be pi times radius times radius. Or it can also be written as pi times r squared. The sixth is the trapezoid. So the formula for this will be base 1 plus base 2 over 2 times height, or it can also be written as b1 plus b2 over 2 times h. Let us identify what is a surface area. Surface area is the total area of all the faces of a three-dimensional figure. It also refers to the sum of the areas of all the surfaces of a solid figure. So solid figures are figures made from different plane figures. In solving for surface area, it is very important that you know what plane figure is represented by its face. So how do we calculate the surface area? To calculate the surface area, we add the areas of all the faces of the three-dimensional figure. Let's take a look at this situation. Aling Sol wanted to redesign her old wooden box. She will be using a decorative sticker paper to cover and to make it look new. How will she know the exact area of sticker paper for the wooden box? To determine the exact area of sticker paper for the wooden box, we need to get its surface area of a rectangular prism. To determine the surface area, we need to know what plane figure is represented by its faces. Let's take a look. The illustration shows the 6 faces of rectangular prism. So we have here the front, back, top, bottom, left, and right. Through solving the areas of these faces, we can get the surface area of the rectangular prism. Another way of describing the surface area of a solid figure is through determining the area of its net. So what is a net? A net is a flat pattern that you can fold to form a solid figure. Here is an example of an illustration of net of a rectangular prism. So we have here 6 different rectangle form or rectangular faces. So to solve this surface area, we need to get the area of its faces. So surface area is equal to area of a left side plus area of a right side plus area of front plus area of back plus area of top plus area of bottom. Thus, the surface area of a rectangular prism will be surface area is equal to 2 times, close and open parentheses, height times width plus width times length plus length times height. Or it can also be written as surface area is equal to 2 height times width plus 2 width times length plus 2 length times height. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, hindi na bago yung 2. Okay, bakit? Kasi, for example, the left and the right side has the same measurements. So, para ma-shorten siya, mas madali siyang ma-solve, pagsasamahin na natin yung dalawa. So, the height times weight times 2. Okay? Then, the measurement of the front and the back is also the same, has the same measurement. So, that's why we have width times length. And also, the third one, the length times height. So, we're going to have the top at the and the bottom, which has the same measurement. So, let's have the surface area of a cube. So, we all know that a cube has 6 square faces. The total area of its 6 square faces is equal to its surface area. So we have here an example of a figure of a cube, wherein when we unfolded the cube, it will be like this, which consider the net of a cube. So when we get the area of a square, so we have here area is equal to 6s squared. Since we are looking for the surface area, all we have to do is to multiply or to add the 6 faces. So the formula will be used here will be surface area is equal to 6 times s squared. Surface area of a triangular prism. A triangular prism has 3 rectangular lateral faces and 2 bases, which are triangles. The sum of the areas of the bases and lateral faces is its surface area. So here is an example of a figure and the net of a triangular prism. So we have here the bases, which represents a triangle, and the lateral face, which represents a rectangle. So if we are going to get the surface area, we will come up, or we will going to get the sum of all area of 5 faces. So the formula will be surface area is equal to the lateral base plus 2 lateral surface plus 2 1/2 base times height. Surface area of pyramid. Pyramid is a solid whose base is polygon and whose lateral faces are triangles with a common vertex, or what we call apex. So we have here the figure and the net of a square pyramid. The base is in square, it represents the square, and the lateral face represents a triangle. So when we get the area of a base, that will be area is equal to s squared, while the triangle is area is equal to base times height divided by 2. So how are we going to get the surface area here? So we are going to get or to sum up the area of its polygonal base and the triangular bases. So we're going to add it all. So the formula will be surface area is equal to s squared plus the lateral area. So in lateral area, what are we going to do here is just to get the area of one triangle and then multiply it by 4, since we have 4 triangle here. Surface area of cylinder. A cylinder is a solid figure with two circular bases and one curved surface. So we have here the figure and an example of an open figure and the net of cylinder. So we have here two bases which represents the circle, and a lateral surface which represents a rectangle, and of course the height of a cylinder. So when we get the area of a circle, we have here the pi r squared, while the rectangle is area is equal to length times width. So the surface area of the cylinder is the sum of the area of the two circular bases and the rectangular lateral area. Thus, the surface area of a cylinder will be surface area is equal to the lateral surface, which is the length times width, plus the two base, which is the pi r squared times 2. Or it can also be written as surface area is equal to 2 pi r height. Surface area of a cone. A cone is a solid figure with one vertex, a circular base, and a lateral curved surface. So how are we going to get the area of the lateral surface? So we will going to divide it into equal parts. Then arrange the parts in a rectangular formation as shown in this figure. Okay, so from the lateral face, we're going to make it in a rectangular formation. The base of the new figure will be pi radius, and the height is the slant height of the curved surface. So we'll come up with a formula by surface is equal to pi times radius times side or slant height plus pi times radius squared, which is the area of the circle. We have here the surface area of a sphere. A sphere is a space figure in which with such a shape that every point on it is on the same distance to the center. If you take a semicircle and rotate it, the figure trace is a sphere. So here is an example of a sphere with 4 areas of the circle that covered completely the surface area of a sphere of the same radius. So we have area of circle that will be pi r squared. So we have 4 here. So the formula will be surface area is equal to 4 times pi r squared. So what are the units of measure for the surface of area? So to measure surface area, we use also square units. So we use the following. We have square millimeter with its abbreviation, square centimeter, square decimeter, square meter, square kilometer, square inch, square foot, square yard, and square mile. Okay, so let us study the illustration how unit of measure for surface area of a rectangular prism is being used. Okay, so we have here the figure and the net of a rectangular prism. Okay, so we all know that area is the measurement of a square unit. Okay, so 1 square unit measures 1 centimeter. So when we get the area of this square, we come up with 1 square centimeter. So the question here is what is the surface area of this rectangular prism? So you're going to count each square